Instead of showing Jupiter as just another planet, scientists found something that shouldn't exist at all. A discovery hidden beneath thousands of kilometers of clouds. Something that changed how we understand giant planets forever. And the scary part? We still don't fully know what it is. For decades, Jupiter was described in simple terms. A massive sphere made mostly of gas, floating quietly at the edge of the inner solar system. Compared to the rocky planets, it seemed almost uncomplicated, a giant accumulation of hydrogen and helium with storms swirling endlessly on its surface. Scientists assumed that beneath the colorful clouds there wasn't much structure beyond deeper layers of compressed gas. The idea felt straightforward and comfortable, as if Jupiter followed predictable rules. But science rarely stays simple for long. Everything began to change when spacecraft missions started collecting precise data about gravity, magnetic fields, and internal pressure. The deeper scientists looked, the less simple Jupiter appeared. Extreme pressure inside the planet forces hydrogen, the lightest element in the universe, into a completely different state. Instead of behaving like a gas, it transforms into a strange liquid that conducts electricity like metal. This wasn't just an interesting detail. It shattered previous assumptions about what planetary interiors could look like. Jupiter was no longer a passive giant. It was something far more complex. Liquid metallic hydrogen is not something we naturally observe on Earth because the conditions required to form it are almost unimaginable. The pressure deep inside Jupiter is so immense that atoms behave in ways that challenge our everyday understanding of matter. In this state, movement inside the planet generates powerful electrical currents, and those currents create a magnetic field so massive it stretches millions of kilometers into space. Suddenly, Jupiter looked less like a simple planet and more like an enormous energy system operating continuously since the birth of the solar system. And that realization opened a far more unsettling idea. Jupiter might function like a planetary-scale engine, converting gravitational pressure into heat, magnetic power, and dynamic atmospheric motion. Its storms, radiation belts, and internal heat begin to look like outputs of a machine rather than random natural phenomena. What we once called a giant ball of gas may actually be a self-driven energy generator, running silently for billions of years. The question that now lingers is no longer whether Jupiter is simple, but whether we have only just begun to understand what it truly is. Jupiter's magnetic field is not just strong, it is overwhelming on a cosmic scale. Generated deep within the planet by the movement of liquid metallic hydrogen, it forms a vast magnetic bubble that surrounds the giant world and stretches far beyond its visible atmosphere. Within this region, charged particles become trapped and accelerated to extreme energies, creating radiation levels that are lethal to most forms of technology. What looks calm and beautiful from a distance is, in reality, an invisible storm of energy that never truly rests. If Earth possessed a magnetic field with the same intensity, the consequences would be dramatic. The constant bombardment of energetic particles would alter atmospheric chemistry and expose the surface to levels of radiation incompatible with life as we know it. Around Jupiter, this invisible danger forms radiation belts thousands of times more powerful than those surrounding our planet. Space missions must plan their trajectories carefully, limiting exposure time because prolonged contact can permanently damage electronics, sensors, and even hardened scientific instruments designed to survive deep space conditions. Yet the mystery does not end with radiation. Inside this magnetic environment, scientists have detected enormous waves of energy moving through space, fluctuations that ripple along magnetic field lines and interact with Jupiter's moons and surrounding plasma. These waves behave almost like vibrations in a giant invisible instrument, transferring power across huge distances. They accelerate particles, generate auroras brighter than anything seen on Earth, and reveal that the system is far more dynamic than a simple magnetic shield. It is a constantly shifting environment where energy is exchanged in ways that are still not fully understood. The unsettling part is that researchers still cannot explain exactly why this magnetic chaos behaves the way it does. Some theories suggest interactions between the planet's rotation, internal heat, and charged particles from its volcanic moon Io, while others point to complex plasma physics that remains difficult to model. What is clear is that Jupiter's magnetic domain is not passive. It is active, powerful, and unpredictable. The invisible danger surrounding the planet reminds us that space is not empty or silent, but filled with forces capable of shaping entire worlds without ever being seen directly. But what truly scared scientists wasn't the radiation. The Great Red Spot is not simply another atmospheric feature spinning across Jupiter's surface. It feels more like a permanent scar carved into a living giant. For more than 3 centuries, this colossal vortex has resisted collapse, outlasting civilizations on Earth, while continuing to churn with relentless power. Scientists once believed it was only a shallow weather phenomenon, but recent observations revealed something far more unsettling. The storm extends deep below the visible clouds, reaching layers where pressure and energy behave in ways we are only beginning to understand. What appears as a red oval from a telescope may actually be the visible tip of a structure anchored far inside the planet. That depth changes everything. If the Great Red Spot reaches regions influenced by Jupiter's internal heat and dynamic energy flows, then it may not be powered by sunlight or surface winds alone. It could be drawing strength from the planet itself. Imagine a storm not just moving across a world, but feeding on the energy rising from within it, like a wound that never fully closes because the planet keeps fueling it from below. This possibility transforms the storm from a meteorological curiosity into something far more mysterious, a window into Jupiter's hidden engine, where atmospheric chaos and planetary physics become one unstoppable force. When scientists expected the core to be solid, they found something else. For a long time, scientists imagined Jupiter's core as a solid, compact center, a dense anchor hidden beneath layers of crushing pressure. But newer data suggests something far stranger. Instead of a clearly defined boundary, the core appears diffuse, mixed into the surrounding layers, almost as if it has been stirred or disrupted. Heavy elements seem to spread outward rather than sitting neatly at the center, creating a blurred interior where solid and fluid states blend in ways that challenge traditional models of planetary formation. Jupiter's heart may not be a stable core at all, but a fragmented region still carrying the memory of an ancient disturbance. One of the most compelling theories proposes a violent collision early in Jupiter's history, possibly with a protoplanet several times the mass of Earth. Such an impact would have released unimaginable energy, shaking the giant from the inside and scattering material through its deep interior. If this happened, Jupiter is not just a planet that formed quietly. It is a survivor of a cosmic catastrophe that reshaped its structure forever. The idea changes how we see the gas giant, not as a calm accumulator of matter, but as a world marked by ancient scars, its internal chaos echoing an event that may have altered its destiny billions of years ago. If you're enjoying this journey into the most extreme worlds in space, subscribe now. Because what we're about to reveal makes Jupiter even stranger. The deeper scientists explored Jupiter, the less predictable it seemed. Each mission designed to simplify our understanding only revealed new layers of complexity. Lightning storms far more powerful than any on Earth, winds moving with a logic we still struggle to explain, and energy systems driven by forces that cannot be seen directly. What once appeared to be just a massive gas planet now feels more like a dynamic engine in constant motion, where gravity, pressure, heat, and magnetism interact on scales that stretch the limits of human comprehension. The more data we collect, the more Jupiter resists easy explanations. And perhaps that is the real fear. Not danger in the traditional sense, but the realization that we are observing only the surface of something far deeper. Its gravity influences the architecture of the entire solar system. Its atmosphere conceals layers no instrument has ever directly reached, and beneath the clouds lie conditions impossible to recreate fully on Earth. Every answer seems to generate new questions, pushing the mystery further inward. If the visible storms already defy expectations, what unknown processes are unfolding far below, hidden forever beneath thousands of kilometers of crushing pressure and darkness? For decades, Jupiter has been seen as Earth's great guardian, a massive gravitational shield capable of absorbing or deflecting asteroids and comets that might otherwise threaten the inner solar system. Its enormous mass can capture wandering objects, pulling them away from paths that could cross Earth's orbit. Events like the impact of Comet Shoemaker, Levy 9 showed us this role in dramatic detail, reinforcing the idea that Jupiter stands between us and cosmic chaos. But as computer simulations became more advanced, that comforting narrative began to change. Gravity is not selective. It doesn't only protect, it also redirects. Some models now suggest that Jupiter's influence can be double-edged. While it removes certain threats, it may also alter the trajectories of distant objects, nudging them inward toward the very region where Earth exists. In this view, Jupiter becomes both guardian and wild card, a giant whose presence stabilizes the solar system while occasionally reshuffling its dangers. That tension is what makes the question so unsettling. Is Jupiter truly our protector, or a cosmic force that sometimes increases the odds of impact without intention? Even scientists debate the answer, because the same gravity that shields us may also be the reason certain risks ever reach us at all. Jupiter isn't just the largest planet in the solar system. It may be the most misunderstood, a world that refuses to fit neatly into our definitions no matter how much we study it. Every mission sent toward its massive clouds reveals new layers of mystery, from strange magnetic behavior to hidden structures deep inside its atmosphere, and each discovery only opens new questions that science cannot yet resolve. The more we observe, the clearer it becomes that Jupiter is not a finished story, but an evolving puzzle, a giant that keeps challenging everything we thought we knew about how planets work. And somewhere beneath those endless storms, beyond the lightning and crushing pressure, something still waits, silent, powerful, and not yet fully understood. Subscribe for more deep space mysteries, because the universe never behaves the way we expect, and Jupiter proves that better than anything else.